Hello, friends. Welcome in. It is just after 3 o'clock, 3:06 to be precise. My name is Matt Murphy. Conveniently, this is the Matt Murphy Radio Show. Welcome on in. Glad to have you with us this Thursday, Jan 15, 2026. It is the middle of the month. It's payday for some. Payday for us there, Jackson. Woo! I hope you received your meager salary and do not spend it all in one place, my friend.
I can get a gumball.
Oh, you can get more than a gumball. You can get a blood orange if you go out there and go really fast and try really hard. I just had one.
How was it?
It was good. It was messy. I needed a plate and a knife in order to appropriate. But you know what I did? You know what I did at about 2:30 this afternoon? A mere 30 some odd minutes ago, I was ripping the flesh from a blood orange with my bare hands. That's what I was doing. I was just ripping the flesh, and it kind of looks like flesh. That's why they call it a blood orange. But it was good, nice. Blood orange has that. It is sweet like an orange, but it has that little something going on like a grapefruit, and I'm a big fan of grapefruit. What about you there? Ken Weaver's back in News Closet B. You know what Ken Weaver looks like to me besides a garden gnome? Ken Weaver looks like a grapefruit man.
I can't stand grapefruit.
Dang, sometimes I miss, Ken.
Oh, I don't like it because it tricked me whenever I was a kid.
Uh-huh.
It looked delicious.
Oh, it looked sweet, didn't it?
Yes.
Oh, did it?
Bit into it.
And it's called grapefruit.
Yeah, and I was just raw.
There's no grape nor fruit.
No, sir.
You know what you do, kid?
What's that?
You load a bunch of sugar on top of it.
Well, I noticed that's what my mom started doing. Because she was eating it, I think back in the late 70s and early 80s, they thought that grapefruit somehow burned fat.
Uh-huh.
And so, my mom was never fat. She just always wanted to, keep her weight down or whatever. And she started eating that grapefruit.
By the way, good time to give a little hat tip to the Weaver family. Sometimes they listen, don't they?
Oh, they watch us all the time.
Mom and Dad. Watch. Oh, hey, Mom and Dad Weaver. How you doing? I didn't call you fat. Ken did.
They're kind of pulling for Brother Jackson to win this trophy here.
What?
Yeah, they see the ego that's going to their son's head, and they're concerned.
Yeah, they are fearful that King Weaver is getting the swelled head, as my grandpa used to say. Don't get the swelled head. And I get that. They want to keep their son humble.
And you just can't root for Matt.
Well, no, nobody roots for Murphy.
I got to be careful what I say. My mom and dad are sitting there freaking watching me.
I've got to be careful how I realized something the other day, and he might be listening right now, and it's pretty funny. My brothers called me out on a couple of my stories because I embellish. You know how you do. You kind of You kind of dress them up for the radio.
Right.
And my brother's like, I don't remember it happening that way. It's like, come on, man.
So which stories is he talking about?
Well, we have had a long-standing dispute about how the baseball bat story went down. Okay, here's the deal. We were going to Disney World the week after this occurred. And Brian was coming at me for some reason. He wanted to rough me up. Brian was 2 years older than me. And I grabbed a baseball bat, and I held it, with just about a foot on top. I was holding it choked up in the middle of the bat like this, It's like, don't you come at me. He's like, I'm coming at you. And I said, I'm going to hit you with this baseball bat. And he came at me, and I went, bip, woo, right on his noggin.
Woo.
Brian claims that he fell down and faked his injury. The way I remember it, he had a big old knot on his head. And I went down and was like, don't say anything to Lane, otherwise he won't let us go to Disney World, because Lane was our stepfather.
Right.
And Lane was known to, if any little thing went wrong in the house, he would put you on restriction and you didn't get anything because he was he wasn't a very nice person. But anyway, so Brian and I have had some differences in recollection. And I told that story recently, and Brian, he hit me up and was like, that's not the way it happened. I was just faking. I was like, you were not faking that knot on your head. Brian. Anyway, so I got to watch myself too, Weaver,
Yeah.
Good.
Sometimes my nincompoops, like my mom, sometimes she said you're pushing a little too far there, son.
Oh yeah, that you tell him, Mama Weaver. I feel the same way. I think Ken gets a little
gets a little naughty sometimes.
Frankly, I think Weaver gets a little raunchy.
Oh, Randy Weaver.
Little raunchy Ken over there just talking about naked people flopping in the breeze and all of that.
I got a good one for today.
Woo, I do too, boy. Whoo, it's a good one.
Where's yours from, Ken?
I'm not saying.
Well, we need to know that way because you're going first.
I am?
Yes.
Okay, it's out of, I think it's out of Las Vegas.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, let's see.
I don't have one yet. If I'm.
Oh, no, this is out of Texas.
So if anyone wants to send me a really. Oh, I've got one from Las Vegas.
Yeah, I've got one from Texas.
I got one from Fort Walton Beach, Florida.
Well, you're probably going to win then.
Florida man normally does. Oh, my neighbor out in Helena, Alabama is listening today on iHeart. If you're listening on iHeart, if you're listening wherever you might be listening, we appreciate you. We thank you for doing so. I need the money. Trust me, I just bought a house. Spotify, iHeart, TuneIn, our own app, SuperTalk 99.7 WTN. Look, if you want to go into if you're a kid, I'll take an old line. Remember the Soupy Sales thing, Ken?
Yes.
This actually happened. Jackson, you will not believe that this happened. But Soupy Sales was a guy who was on television, had a television show back in the 50s, I guess it was. And it was a children's show. And he encouraged the kids that were watching, said, hey, kids, I know we're on early in the morning, and mom and dad are probably still asleep from the night before. They probably had a big party or whatever. What I want you to do is I want you to go into your mom and dad's bedroom, sneak in there real quiet like, don't wake them up, go to your dad's wallet, take all of the green things out of his wallet and send it to me. And he gave his address.
Did he go to jail?
No, but he did have to apologize the next weekend because some kids did it.
I wonder how much money he made.
I don't know. They were sending him cash. I don't fear that. Y'all send me cash. 10 Music Circle East. I'm not above it. I got a big old house to furnish, for goodness' sake.
You got a big old house.
Good
boy.
gracious. It's too big. It's too big. It's too big. There's too much. By the way, thanks to Zero Res. I want to give a shout out to one of our fine sponsors on SuperTalk 99.7 WTN. What a great job they did. They came in earlier in the week. We're getting the thing painted on the upper level, but in the basement area, there's a lot of carpet down there. And there were little stains and whatnot on the carpet, and they came in and got it done, boys.
Got it right out, did they?
Got it done, and no chemicals. I love that. Safe for the pets, safe for the family, and just kudos to Zero Res, fine sponsor of Super Talk 99.7 WTN. I don't personally endorse them, but I endorse them, if you know what I'm saying.
I know what you're saying, David.
So
yes.
if y'all have any carpet needs, need to get your house cleaned, I would strongly recommend Zero Res. It's spelled the same backwards and forwards.
Yeah, backwards or forwards, it's still the same.
It's Zero Res. So thank you to those guys. Thank you to all of you for indulging us in the hours that you do or in the minutes that you do, whatever time you're able to give us. We're appreciative of it. So Spotify, iHeart, TuneIn, our own app, SuperTalk 99.7 WTN. And then there's also Talk TV, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and Rumble. YouTube chat running over there. Like and subscribe. Give us the old thumbs up. What's that costing today, Ken?
Absolutely nothing, boys. Yeah.
It costs you nothing to just go over there and do us the favor of giving us the thumbs up, and it helps us out, and we would appreciate that. I don't have any kids to feed, but I got a house to furnish. So help me out by giving us the old thumbs up. You know what? If we get enough thumbs up, that might buy us a hutch or a credenza.
What's a credenza?
I don't know. I don't know what any of these things are that I'm told that we have to buy now. I have no idea. All I want is a TV and an easy chair.
I think a hutch is kind of like what my home studio is in. It's like kind of a little breakfast nook. Is that what they are?
No, I think a hutch is like what you put dishes and whatnot in. It's like a china cabinet for normal people.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, but everything has to be mid-century modern, Ken.
Oh,
mid-century modern. Do you know what that means?
No,
I don't either. But apparently, our house is mid-century modern. And all of our stuff has to be mid-century modern.
I like your house, man.
The really expensive sofa that I bought,
yeah.
Apparently that's mid-century modern, I'm told.
You've got the kind of house, you should get you one of those old 60s style clocks on the wall that are like just big suns.
Oh, Ken.
You know, with the rays
I know.
that shoot out.
And I got the wall to put it on.
Yeah.
That brick wall on the back end. Right next to the piano that I negotiated in the sale of the home.
That's right.
Have I told that story on the radio?
Yes.
Do you play piano?
I do not.
You gonna learn?
Maybe. I mean, I'm not really musically inclined. Jackson, you play piano?
No.
You can come. I mean, learn to play the piano, and I'll invite you over to the house, and you can tickle the ivories while folks sip on their cocktails. We'll all be gussied up like it's 1966, and we're in an episode of Mad Men.
Oh, you'll be going back to your 50s.
By the way, speaking of the house, and we will not talk of it very much. I mean, I don't want to bore you with conversations about the home, but I do need this. So Debbie Matthews, my realtor, who was in yesterday, and she's a big muckety muck out there in Columbia. She hooked me up with this guy, and this dude won't call me back, and I don't know his name. So, Ken, this house that I bought,
Yes, sir.
guess the number of sliding glass doors that I have.
5.
Okay, that's a good guess. Jackson, guess the number of sliding glass doors that I have.
7.
10. There's 10 sliding glass doors. And
Interesting.
so the cool thing is on the deck side of the house, you've probably seen the photos of the deck. On the deck side of the upper level of the house, there's 6 of them in a row. There's boom, 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 and they're old school sliding glass doors, and they round a corner. Like 2 of them are around the corner. So if you can imagine it, you open them up, and you got all of this air and oh man, I can't wait for the spring so I can do this. Here's the problem: there's 6 on the top, 4 on the bottom. Guess how many of them work?
None.
4.
2, right in the middle, boys, right in the middle. 1 up top, 1 down bottom. So I need me a door guy.
Yeah, gotta
right?
get a door guy.
I got to get a door guy. So I asked Debbie, I was like, hey, do you know a door guy? Because, look, I know I bought a house from 1960. I know that there will be all of these types of things. That's part of the fun.
Sure.
But I also know my limitations. I'm going to do a lot of this stuff myself.
Boy, you're like me, dude. I know where I need to stop.
But I understand that I have certain limitations, and old school 1960 sliding glass doors that won't open, all I'm going to do is break doors. That's all I'm going to do.
Yeah, that's what would happen with me.
I think
guarantee it.
Good content, though, if we filmed it.
Okay. By the way, I came up with another good idea too. It's called I want to do a YouTube segment starring Jackson Williams, and it's called "What Y'all Doing" with Jackson Williams, because every time Jackson walks into a room, you know what he says to us?
What y'all doing?
What y'all doing?
Yes, sir.
You do. I don't know if you know you do this, but you do. What you doing?
What you doing, bud?
What you doing, bud? With Jackson Williams.
I'm down.
I think it would take off.
The only thing that it would involve is you doing exactly what you do now, except you hold a phone and record it while you do it. We're going to do this. But anyway, so I asked Debbie, hey, Debbie, you know a door guy? She goes, yeah, I know the Door King.
Ooh,
I
the
was like,
Door King.
You know the Door King? And she said, why, yes, I know the Door King. Did you rescind your invitation to me, by the way, Jackson? No? Okay, I'm joining you again. I was like, okay, you know the Door King. Well, I need to know the Door King because I need the Door King in my life because I got 8 out of my 10 that don't work. And I know my limitations.
Yeah.
And she says, okay. And she sends me his number, and I call it, and it's just an automated, the number you have reached is not currently taking calls at this time. Please leave your message, and he'll call you back or whatever. And so I leave a message, 2 of them now, and no call back. And I call Debbie, and I say, what's this dude's name? And she said, I don't know. I just know him as the Door King.
Oh, I thought she was just joking, like he's the Door King. He's actually the Door King.
He's the Door King. That's it. I think that's the name of his company, the Door King. And I said, are you saying Dorking? Which I don't think we can say that on the radio.
Mom, turn it down.
Mama Weaver, that was Matt Murphy.
I don't know.
That was not your innocent child.
Are you saying that he's a dork? And so he is he's the king of the dorks? She said, no, he's the Door King. I was like, okay, either this guy's got a great sense of humor or he's got no clue what he has done with his life. No one knows his name, and he won't call me back. So if y'all know the Door King, tell him I need him. And I got a lot of doors that need some love. And if you don't, and you know somebody that works on doors or works on sliding glass doors, let me know. What, is the Door King on line 1 now? Maybe?
Well, I'll be.
Well, maybe.
I'll be.
Aubrey has an idea. Hey, Aubrey, how are you?
Hey, man, I'm good, and congratulations on your house.
Well, thank you.
And Mount Pleasant is not in Venezuela, regardless of what Jackson said.
You tell him.
Anyway,
You tell him.
I want to tell you, with that many doors, let me tell you what to do. You need to look into getting the collapsible doors, the accordion doors, because if they're going to have to take them out to put you new doors in anyway, the collapsible doors, you can use just a portion of them and open, or you can fold them all the way back, just like an accordion. And they are amazing. So you have the perfect setting to use something like that.
Ooh,
and you
that
talk
sounds
about
good.
having a party and having that deck and having the house open, it gives you inside and outside livability.
I love it. You're going to be the first person invited if this works. But
Okay, thank you. I'm not far from Mount Pleasant, so I can make it. But anyway, check into collapsible patio doors. And if you look that up online, you will be amazed at what they can do and what it will look like when you get through with it. Because even though it's a mid-century modern home, this goes right with it.
Okay.
So,
I'm going to look into that. But here's the one. Here's the one hesitation I have, Miss Aubrey.
What's that?
That sounds expensive.
Well, you get what you pay for.
Well, that's true.
If you want cheap little sliding doors across through there, just go right on with your bad self.
Miss Aubrey, you're my kind of people.
Yeah,
I like
now,
that.
If you want it to look like something,
I like it.
Put the extra dollars in there because it really. And I mean, you talk about resale value. There you go.
I love it. I love the idea. Listen, whatever we need to do, I was hoping, and I like the idea. Miss Aubrey, I'll let you know how it goes, and you're the first invited. If we get, I know the one she's talking about, they kind of collapse on themselves.
They look like accordions, right?
Right. And it looked like.
I think we had one in one of the houses I grew up in.
I love it, but that sounds. I guess what you have to establish. I mean, I don't feel like there's going to be any issue with wall supports because, I mean, it's just the wall supports are on the inside of this. They're on the inside of the house.
Okay.
Which is how you can stack one after another after another. I've got 6 of them in a row around the corner, and I just realized that we've got 2 columns on the inside of the house. That's going to be your support for the home. So we could do that. So, Miss Aubrey, I love that idea. Send me that idea in writing and a check for, let's say, $12,000, and we're rolling with it.
You know what you got to be careful of with those sliding glass doors?
What's that?
Are you and E ever thinking about getting a parrot or parakeets or anything like that? They'll fly right into them. Having a little parakeet I had growing up named Bonnie flew right into it.
Ken, the answer to that question is no, we are not. But 2, Ms. Beasley and birds would not get along.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Mrs. Weasley?
Correct. Actually incorrect. But this house needs a parrot. Let me tell you, this house is begging for a big-ass parrot cage on the end where all those doors are.
That is a loud house with you and a parrot.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
Woo, the things that parrot would say after living with Brother Murphy for a while.
Have you ever
Most of it not allowed to be said on radio.
True. There's an old joke here. There's God, what's the joke? And the punchline is there's a guy. Oh God, there's a guy that plays piano in his house. He's got a piano in his house, like a little baby grand piano, and he plays piano every night. And he's got a parrot, and the parrot hates it when he plays the piano. And so the parrot flies out of the window and goes to the neighbor's house and just squawks and squawks and squawks at the neighbor's house every time the guy's playing his piano. And the neighbor's just sick of it. He's just putting up with it every night. He's just sick to death of it. I mean, that parrot will fly out of the window and go into a tree in his backyard, just just every night. And so finally, the guy's had enough. It's 1 o'clock in the morning, and he gets out of his bed, and he puts on his robe, and he goes out his front yard, and he goes to his neighbor's yard, and he bangs on the front door. And the guy comes to the door. He says, "Do you know your parrot is squawking in my backyard?" And the guy says, "No, but if you hum a few bars."
What?
You don't get it?
No.
No, come on.
I know, man.
He's playing the piano.
Right.
And so he thinks he's asking him to play a song. That's a good joke. That's a good joke.
That's on me, Brother Murphy. That's on me.
Do you know your parrot is squawking in my backyard? No, but if you hum a few bars.
Ha
That's a good joke. I don't care who you are. That's funny. It's 26 after the hour on Super Talk. To all of you folks that are commenting on the Super Text line that you didn't like my joke, I would suggest that it's all of you. It's not me. Some have suggested that young Jackson, a.k.a. J. Willie, a.k.a. Y2J, a.k.a. Action Jackson, in this case, a.k.a. Reaction Jackson, should have had the womp, 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 womp ready to go. But you probably, in your defense, Jackson, had no idea just how bad the joke was. It's a better joke if you – that's one of those jokes, Ken, you know, the type where it's a 5-minute joke. And it's a really, really nice build-up, and then the payoff is really for the joke teller. It's for nobody else.
Right.
Yeah, sure. There you go.
That's Bob Barker.
That's good enough. That means I failed at the Showcase Showdown, I think.
Yeah. That was Bob Barker, and what was that show?
That was The Price is Right.
Yeah.
I used to think The Price is Right was in a huge – have y'all ever seen the actual place where The Price is Right is filmed?
Never did.
It is not a big place. It is probably, you know, our little performance studio downstairs, Ken? Probably a little bit bigger than that.
Really?
Well, I take that back. It's probably about twice as big as that. But there aren't it's not near. I used to think it was in like a place like Bridgestone Arena when I was a kid.
Oh, yeah. I thought it was in a big auditorium, and I thought it was in the town I lived in.
That's cool. Yeah, I love it. That's good. I wanted to be on that show so bad. So bad. No, my grandma.
Matt Murphy, come on down.
You're the next contestant on The Price is Right. Have your pet spayed and neutered. So long, everybody.
The Price is Right was in Bartlesville, Oklahoma.
Well, it's on right there on the TV, kid. Why wouldn't it be? Good old Bob Barker with that long microphone. Talking to he wouldn't kiss him like Richard Dawson would.
Oh, Richard Dawson, boy, he'd plan it.
He'd lay one on you. I'm being told to stick to radio, to leave the comedy to Jackson. Mario wants to know, ask Ken if that parakeet actually flew into the sliding glass door. You know, we know his history with woodpeckers and all.
It did. It flew into the door. Poor little Bonnie.
I think I've told you. Bonnie was her name?
Yeah, I had a blue parakeet and a yellow parakeet. They were named Bonnie and Clyde.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Bonnie was the yellow parakeet, and she'd beat up Clyde.
Oh,
Poor
well.
little Clyde, he was a sweet little fella.
Yeah.
But he never ran into a glass door, but Bonnie would.
My grandma did not have two at a time, but she had two parakeets in my childhood. And this is when she still smoked. I think I've told you the story, Ken, where she would sit she had a little counter looking over the backyard with two windows, and she would look out over the backyard. And Tweet was the first one. Little Tweet was there. And poor little Tweet, my grandma would be sitting there smoking her Vantage.
Yep.
And a little Tweet's over in the corner in cage. And so, you know, everybody's smoking the Vantage, Ken. I'm smoking the Vantage.
Yes.
Mom's smoking the Vantage. Tweet smoking the Vantage. And, you know, I think parakeets are supposed to live like 3 or 4 years, 5 years
like
maybe.
Yeah.
Tweet died after about a year. And I remember like it was yesterday, my grandmother talking to a friend of hers from down there. I don't know why he died. And even as a kid, I'm thinking, because that Tweet smoking about 5 packs a day, man, equivalent. And so she got another one. I forget the other one's name. The other one died too. So, you know, eventually Ma stopped smoking.
Yeah, they all die eventually.
Yeah, I guess.
Sure. But sometimes, sooner than later.
Trevor says, what you need is a couple of cockatoos. That'll drive the neighbors crazy. No jokes. Off limits.
So I can't say it'd be the only one in your house?
Someone did say, I can imagine Matt Murphy arguing politics with a parrot. Yeah, I would too. A lot of folks are commenting on the fact that a parakeet looks a lot like a woodpecker.
They don't look anything like a woodpecker.
Except when they're at the bottom end of a brick.
Somebody said, my God, Ken Weaver either kills them or rams them into doors.
Ken is really the Jeffrey Dahmer of birds.
He's real. I bet there aren't any birds in Weaver's yard, boy.
That's Jeffrey Dahmer's guy who eat people, right?
Yeah. Yes, that's
Okay,
correct.
good.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
All right. So, Becky says, I need a contractor. You're right, Miss Becky. I appreciate it. Those doors Miss Aubrey talking about are extremely expensive. I installed a set of those that were 12 foot wide by 8 foot tall, and it was around 20. What? Whoa.
Whoa.
Wow.
20 grand. Yeah, I actually look. They're called Nanowall doors, what she was describing. And, yes, they are.
Ungodly expensive.
Well, Josh writes in and says, Murphy, those are called Nanowalls. Roughly $50K installed for your situation. Signed to Josh. We're just looking to repair the doors we got, fellas. We just want to get these fine vintage sliding glass doors operational. That's all we're looking for. While we're on the subject, we'll get to content in a moment. I promise you. I got Caroline Levitt audio. I got Tim Walz audio. I got Insurrection Act conversation. But before we get to that, we get to Angela. Hey, Angela, how are you?
Hey, I'm good. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. It's funny that you say that. I am your local Nanowall rep.
Are you really?
I am.
Angela, you need to give me a call. We need to get a deal going. They don't have to be They don't have to be $50,000, do they?
No, they don't. I mean, you can do some of those as a Nanowall or an operable door, or you could do, you could do some of them, but not all of them. Do windows elsewhere, but yeah, it's really amazing. Like if you have a nice view from those areas, it's a good one, and it lets that air in. I think the big thing that people talk about is make sure you got a screen or something outside for bugs. But if you don't mind bugs, you're good.
Well, I mean, I don't mind bugs. I kind of am a bug, so I wouldn't mind that at all. Well, I'll tell you what, Angela, the same number that you called me on,
Yeah.
text me on, and give me your information, and we'll talk.
Will do.
Okay.
I go out to people's houses and help them figure out what they want to do, and then we can give you a quote.
I love it. Love everything about it. So just, use this number and text me, and then I'll hit you back, and we'll get in contact.
All right. Will do.
All right. Thank you, Angela.
Oh, there you go,
Good
Brother
luck.
Murphy.
That's what we're talking about. Now I'm spending money, Ken.
Yeah.
You notice how, and I'm picking on you, Angela. I know Angela's still listening. You notice how we got off the subject of price real quick.
That's how it always is.
You know what I mean? I'm like, hey, it's not really that expensive. Oh, no, you're fine. Anyway, but they're beautiful and they're gorgeous and you'll love them and you get some screens up and you'll be fine.
And that's whenever you end it by saying, isn't that super?
Isn't that super? Oh, no. We don't need to spend it. We're in a let's not spend any more money phase already. And I haven't even moved in yet. I haven't even paid the movers. All right, 615-737-9986. So I hesitate to bore you with the entirety of this, but I think it's important that you understand where we are regarding Minnesota and where we're going regarding Minnesota. There are elected officials in Minnesota that clearly don't seem to care about the health and safety of the American citizens that live there in Minnesota. And they are obviously not concerned about the laws of the United States of America and how they pertain to immigration and customs enforcement. You have grown-ups that are trying to deal with a situation that we've been living through for the past I don't know how many years. You have some people that just want to ignore the law. Tim Walz, the governor of Minnesota, wants to ignore the law. Keith Ellison, the Attorney General of Minnesota, wants to ignore the law. They want to ignore the law when it comes to Somalian fraud. They want to ignore the law when it comes to illegal alien activity. They want to ignore the law as to what it says about immigration and customs enforcement and their law enforcement operations and their ability to come into a given community and deal with illegal aliens who are there. There's a way to do that, as I've described these many weeks. There's a way to deal with this. If you don't like the laws, then change them. What you may not do is ignore them. What you may not do is take to the streets and interfere with lawful enforcement of current law. Yet Tim Walz and his ilk, they pretend like they can. And more dangerously, and we saw the evidence of this last night, Tim Walz comes out. It is no coincidence that the governor of Minnesota comes out attempting to move as far as he possibly can away from allegations against him that he had prior knowledge of the fraud that was going on in his state and he allowed it to happen. I don't think there's any question that that's the case. Tim Walz knew very well that illegal activity was going on in his state. He knew that fraud was happening. The only question now is whether he was a part of it. So he wants to have any conversation that doesn't have to do with Somalian daycare fraud, right? So he welcomes this and doesn't really seem to care if he's endangering the citizens of his state. What is frightening is the manner in which he presents Immigration and Customs Enforcement as the bad guy, as if they're the criminal wrongdoers. And those that are breaking the law, they're the good guys. They're the resistance, if you will. And so now we have to have a conversation about whether or not Donald Trump has to invoke the Insurrection Act and bring out the United States military. No one wants to do that. What we're not going to do, Governor Walz, is just leave. That's not the way this works. When law enforcement comes to your house and says, hey, we have a warrant to search your home, and you say, no, I don't want you to search my house, and they say, no, we have a valid warrant and we're going to search your house, and you say, no, I'm just going to ask you to leave. You're going to need to leave. Guess what's not going to happen? They're not just going to leave. If you get pulled over by the police on suspicion that you are driving intoxicated or under some sort of substance, driving under the influence of something, and the officer comes up and he smells alcohol on you and he says, hey, I'm going to need you to get out of your car. We're going to have to do some field sobriety. We're going to have to figure out if you're drunk or not. You don't get to look at that officer and say, no, I'm just going to drive on home and you're going to get back in your cruiser and you're going to go away. The officer is not going to say, oh, okay, if you don't want this to happen, then it's not going to happen. That's not the way that works. Tim and the rest of Minnesota, you have illegal aliens in your state. We have to clean up the mess that has been going on for the past 40 years. Donald Trump did his best in the first term. Did you see that we had a net negative migration in 2025? That's good news, by the way. I was talking with Chris and Dan. We recorded. They've invited me to be a part of their podcast, Mostly Peaceful, for 2026, and I'm honored to be a part of it. And we were doing the podcast earlier today, and we were bringing this up. And I've long said I call for a 2-year moratorium. Chris said it should be 5 years. I said I'm willing. I'm ready to go. A moratorium on all immigration, if for nothing else to figure out who the hell is here and whether they ought to be here and whether they're a benefit to the United States of America. There's nothing wrong with saying that. That's not xenophobic. That's America first. So Tim and Keith and the rest of you officials over in Minnesota, just because you don't like the law and you want to pooch your lip out and go nanny, nanny, boo-boo, stick your head in doo-doo and stick your fingers in your ears and pretend like none of this is happening, it's not going to go away, buddy. You get with the program and get with the law, or, you get busy living or you get busy dying. As the great Red from Shawshank Redemption taught us. All right, so I've spoken too long. I can't play you the clip. I'll play it after the break. It is Super Talk 99.7. Would love to hear from you. What do we do? Are y'all ready for the Insurrection Act? That is it a step too far? Is there another path that we can take? 615-737-9986, Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. So we've got a governor of the state of Minnesota that does not seem to understand that his words matter. And the governor was presenting a message last evening that seemed to suggest that Immigration and Customs Enforcement, they were the bad guys, and that the bad guys, the illegal aliens that they're trying to get out of our country, were just your friends and your neighbors, your coworkers and whatnot. Despite the fact that the people that they're going after are gangbangers, Tren de Aragua, in some cases, pedophiles. Oh, yeah. And so because Minnesota is not working in compliance with the law and they're not working with the federal government, a suggestion has been made that perhaps it's time for the Insurrection Act, which has been around since almost as long as our country has been around. I will describe it to you, explain it to you in a moment. You'll hear some audio from Tim Walz and some audio from Caroline Levitt earlier today that was just dramatic. In the meantime, Jackson Williams seems to be taking off clothes in the control area. We'll find out what that's all about.
He might become one of our stories in the 5 o'clock hour.
He might be a nincompoop. You never know. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Here comes the real news.
It's just unseasonably warm in here.